Again. Doesn't let me record. All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever done a deadlift?
Oh, the deadlift is a popular lifting exercise that requires a full body to achieve. Don't be scared of the name of the lift because it's beginner friendly. Today, I will be demonstrating how to do a deadlift. I will start by gathering the materials to perform a deadlift, but to show you how to position yourself and how to perform the deadlift. All right, first, like I said, we'll gather the materials. Can anyone guess what we'll need? We're gonna need um sorry about that, guys. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna need a bar, and in this case, for the sake of the video, not too heavy, we will go with this little barbell. Um, shouldn't be too heavy if you're starting off. Same with the weights, which is the second thing you'll need. I have them right here, 5 pound. Slide them in this John real quick. Here we go. Oh, that's a little heavy already. Hold on. And then to secure it, it's gonna have a little bolt. We just slide it in there. Hold on. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Don't forget about that, guys. All right, slide it in there. Something like that. And unfortunately, I don't have one for this one. So we'll just go with God's protection. All right. Now that I've told you to gather the deadlift materials by getting some weights, I will now show you how to position yourself. All right, here we go. When you position yourself, you must stand with your feet. Hopefully, you guys can see the shoes, peep the shoes. We'll stand with the feet at shoulder width, at the feet at shoulder width apart. And when you step up to the bar, make sure you can see your toes. And your legs should be 1 inch from the bar. Hopefully, this is 1 inch. Because if you're too far from the bar, then you'll activate um, the booty, the glutes more. And if you're too close to the bar, you'll activate more of the back. And you don't want to do that. You want to be like a little balanced. Let me. And I have a quote by the boy Zhang Si. It says, for exercisers, mastering the correct exercise technique is a reliable way to improve the fitness performance while avoiding injuries caused by technical exercise errors. What this means is if you don't have good form, you could possibly injure yourself. And you don't want to do that. These injuries can be like really severe, especially for something like a deadlift when you're lifting like really heavy. So I recommend taking your time to master it because you could hurt yourself. All right. Um, my bad, y'all. Now that I've highlighted how to position yourself with your feet shoulder width apart, I want to highlight how to perform the deadlift. All right, we've been waiting for this, right? I have another quote by Elijah Wickoff that says, deadlifting is a weightlifting exercise that involves lifting a loaded barbell or bar from the ground to a level of the hips, right? Before lowering it back down to the ground. All right. So like I said earlier, want to get a 1 inch from the bar, should be able to see your feet and shoulder width apart. For me, that's right here. All right. We're not going to squat, guys. We're not going to squat. Let me get a little back. We're not going to squat because then we're activating too much of the booty. All right. So what I do is first lower your back without bending your knees, grip the bar, and then we're gonna push our hips like a little forward, and you should see your knees coming up to your arms. And then we're just gonna, with your back straight, kind of like think of it as you're clinging onto the bar so your back can get it. And then we're just gonna lift. Shoulder width, or I mean hip level, peep it. And then we're gonna slowly drop it down or put it to the ground. And you want to make sure you control that because as you guys can sometimes see, like those like Eddie Hall, he just lifts 500 pounds easily, throws it on the floor, flex on us. But no, he's lifting heavy weights. And if you want to be more, if you're lifting like little weights like this, you should probably control it. You can build more muscle like that. Um, I also want to mention when you do this, make sure to breathe, guys. Make sure to breathe. Sometimes I forget. I just be going in ham. Make sure to breathe. I would redo this. When you lift it, when you lift it, you inhale and then you exhale as you let down. Hopefully, I can hear the breaths. All right. All right. By now, a deadlift, you should be able to do a deadlift. Today, I show you how to do a deadlift by first gathering the materials. Gathering the materials. I showed you gathering materials by getting some weights, then how to position yourself by standing at by setting your feet at shoulder width length. Damn, it's high. And then I showed you how to perform the deadlift by making sure to breathe. Next time you do a deadlift, make sure you think of my beautiful self. You got this. Thank you guys. Do you guys have any questions?
Um, yeah, I have a question.
Oh yeah, go
What's
ahead,
your, if you
Sage.
don't
Yeah,
mind
go ahead,
sharing,
bro.
what's your PR for deadlifts?
Oh man. Oh my gosh. My PR is probably like honestly, I haven't done it since like high school. Even tapping back into this, oof. But I would say like 200.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you for the question, guys. Appreciate your time.